What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikiPikaPapa, and first and foremost, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you're out there crushing some corned beef, eating some cabbage, drinking some green beer, but whatever you're doing, please be smart and be safe. Now, with that being said, I have been on pins and needles. I've been so excited to do this video because this really is the culmination of 3 months of work, of 3 months of data crunching, and this is what the PikiPikaPapa channel is all about. Listen, there are some wildly entertaining, awesomely informative YouTube creators out there in the Pokemon space. But a lot of times what they do is they read you charts. And these are charts that you can access yourself on TCG Player. Like, the whole point of this channel is for us to play chess when other people are playing checkers, and for us to use different tools and interfaces and data points in order for us to make the most informed decision with the money that we have. Because listen, I work hard for my money and you do too. And the last thing we want to do is make a purchase that maybe doesn't work out the way we thought, or maybe we regret further down the road. So the whole point of PikiPikaPapa is to do videos like this. We have a lot of fun along the way, but these are some of the ones that I get most jazzed up about. So, with that being said, this channel has grown by leaps and bounds since we did the initial one in January, so I'm just going to explain real quick what it is. Basically, what I did was I took Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, and I took all of their booster boxes, okay? Now, in this weekend, we're only going to look at Sword and Shield. Next weekend, we'll look at Sun and Moon, just because there was so much data that you guys don't want to look at my mug for that long, and I certainly don't want to talk for that long, so we broke it up into 2 weekends. So what I did was I took all of the Sword and Shield booster boxes, and I looked at each of their ending month prices for all of 2022. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Every single booster box in the Sword and Shield era, I looked at their ending booster box price for every month in 2022. Then we put it into Microsoft Excel. Now, Excel has some super cool tools in there, and one of them is this price projection tool. So you can give them a defined amount of time with X number of price points, and it's going to say, okay, based off of previous trends and previous prices, this is where we think the price will go over however long you want. Now, what we did was we looked at it quarterly. So for all of 2023, we're going to be doing this on a quarterly basis, simply because in the beginning, we only had 12 data points. Guess what? Now we're going to have 15 data points, which is awesome. But until we have a much deeper data point base, we're only going to look at it quarterly, because when you start to look at it on a much longer period, you know, the cone of uncertainty gets really, really wide, and it doesn't give us a whole lot of real directional data. So we looked at this from a quarter. Here we are, middle of March. We're going to look back and see how it performed. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend a ton of time crunching the data. I'm going to give you a new projection for Sword and Shield for Q2, and then next weekend, I'm going to do the exact same thing for Sun and Moon, and I am... Words can't express how excited I am to do this. So if this is something that gets you excited as well, hit that subscribe button, give a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. I put a ton of time, effort, and research into this because I want all of us to be leveled up as a group, and there's no better way to say thank you to me than be doing those 3 things. So with that being said, how did this all shake out? Listen, all 12 booster boxes were either within the projection bands or they outperformed the upper confidence bound. And on the next slide, I'm gonna explain to you what all that looks like and what all that means. But the results were nothing short of amazing. Like, I can't even talk, I'm that excited about it. I do want to say, and I'm very aware of this, we have been in the middle of a Pokemon bull market, so everything has been up and to the right. But the good thing is we are getting this data points, we are getting to be able to build out this data warehouse in the middle of a bull market, so we're going to have a lot of really strong data as we continue to move forward, okay? That is not to say there weren't some surprises. There were certainly some surprises. There were some things that that caught me a little bit off guard, but I also think that there's some real good rationale and some real good learnings from those surprises that we're going to talk about in this video right now. So, with that being said, if you didn't see the January video, first off, when you're done with this, go back and watch it. Don't stop in the middle of the video. Finish the video, then go back and watch it, because that helps the algorithm. But anyways, this is what we did back in January. Okay, so Chilling Reign is the example here. Like, I took all of Chilling Reign's end of the month booster box prices. You see in the blue chart up there, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And then you'll see below it, it has January 23, February 23, March 23. Now remember, we did this in the beginning of January, so those dates hadn't happened yet. Like, these were future dates, these were projections, okay? So you'll see what it does is it gives you this cool little spaghetti model. You see that chart right there? So the blue lines are those actual data points. That's January to December of 2022. The orange lines are what the math says, hey, this is where we think this booster box price is going to end up. It gives you an upper confidence bound, which is the top orange line, and a lower confidence bound, which is the lower orange line. Then it has the line in the middle. I took out the line in the middle, so we're just going to talk about upper and lower confidence bounds because my assumption, my hypothesis was that no matter what, we're going to end up somewhere between between it. And I also have a couple other thoughts that I'm going to share with you along the way as well. But this is all the work that went into it. This is all the data that goes into it. I don't want you to think this is some napkin math that PikiPikaPapa is sitting here doing on an abacus or something. Like, this is about as buttoned up and this is about as leveled up as you can possibly get. So really excited to share this with you. Here's what it looked like, okay? We're starting with the 4 oldest sets, and I'm gonna walk through the Sword and Shield base set in some detail, simply because I want everybody to understand what we're talking about, and we can go through the rest of them a little bit quicker. So what you see here is we'll start at the Sword and Shield base set, which is the block that's on the very, very top. It shows you the January 2022 ending price, which was $210, and then the December 2022 ending price, which was $244. So, hey, it went up $34 over the course of the year. That is nothing to shake a fist at. That's like a, what, 12, 13, 14% gain over the course of a year. Anybody would take that. That's awesome. So based off of that, the BI calculator, the math said, hey, listen, by March of 2023, which is the yellow highlighted, I highlighted that, it says, hey, listen, it's going to end up somewhere between $234 and $258 based off of the trends of the last 12 months. Great. That sounds awesome. Guess what? Sword and Shield base set said, I don't care about you math. Forget you, get out of here. I am going to outperform that. I'm going to do way, way better. And it sure as heck did. It is up 14% since the end of December, and it's up 8% over the upper confidence bound. Now, we talk about lessons that we learned from this. We talk about playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. This might be something that we write down and we say, hey, listen, when Scarlet and Violet comes to an end, depending on what the base set booster box is out, 3-4 years from now, maybe it's an opportunity to buy 4 or 5 months prior to the new era releasing, simply because people are going to get nostalgic, people are going to think they're going to miss out, so people are going to be buying that base set booster box because, again, up 14% in 3 months. It went up, what, $34 in all of 2022, and then in the last 3 months it went up $35. Just amazing, amazing stuff. I love getting this level of detail. I love writing these things down in my investing notebook. That way I can remember this further down the road. And I want everybody to understand all the videos here on the PikiPikaPapa channel, these aren't meant to be snapshots in time. Like everything that I try and do, I want everything to build on top of each other. I want everything to layer on one another. That way, as we continue to grow this channel, as we continue to get more data, like we're just gonna get smarter and smarter as we're looking at this stuff further down the road. Okay, so now we'll look at Rebel Clash. Now you look at the lower confidence bound, okay? So you'll see in red it said negative 15%, and you'll see the upper confidence bound in green, it said positive 2.45%. So this was the math saying, okay, due to recent price performance of Rebel Clash, we actually think this set has a higher probability of losing value over the next 3 months than it does of going up. Now, Rebel Clash went up. It only went up 0.6%, which is within the projection bands, which at the end of the day, that's all we care about. But if you go back to my January video, I told you, I said, hey, listen, Rebel Clash might be a great set, but I'm not putting my money into it right now simply because the math suggests, yes, it might go up, but the math is telling me there's a bigger probability of it losing value than gaining value. And as we continue to get into this video, you're going to see other opportunities where the price projection to go up is way higher than the price projecting to go down, which is what we're looking for. Again, chess playing. So I said that about Rebel Clash. Again, we're in a Pokemon bull market, so it still went up. It only went up 0.6%, which is one of the lowest gains over the last 3 months. But hey, up is up. So it went from 210 to 211. Then you look at Darkness Ablaze, same thing, same narrative. Hey, listen, the math was suggesting this has a better chance of going down than it does of going up, and it went down 1%. Not the end of the world. Still within the upper and lower confidence bounds. Not the end of the world. It went down 1%, but hey, it didn't perform like a lot of these other sets did, and the math was a great indication 3 months ago that this is how it was going to perform. So again, really, really exciting stuff. Then we get to Vivid Voltage. We've talked a lot about Vivid Voltage over the last month. The math said, hey, it might go down 9%, it might go up 12.5%, so it certainly favored it going up a little bit, and it did. It went up 8% overall, right in the middle of those upper and lower confidence bounds. It went from $130 to $140. So I'm feeling really good when I start looking at these first 4 sets. Like, things are performing the way that I think, but as you all know, hey, listen, math doesn't care. It does its own thing. We have a couple anomalies coming up, but I don't think they're anomalies for a bad reason. So let's get into the middle 4. Battle styles. Battle styles is the first anomaly, right? This is just like Darkness Ablaze, just like Rebel Clash. The math was saying, hey, it has a better opportunity of going down than it does of going up. But Battle Styles said, I don't care. I am going to absolutely crush it, which it did. And it's up 17.5%, and it's up 13% over that upper confidence bound. Now, I spent some time thinking, why? Like, why is it up? It's because of the starting price. It started at $95. This was the lowest cost booster box in the whole Sword and Shield era. So maybe, again, we write this down in our collecting and investing notebook like, hey, when an era is coming to an end, maybe we look at the cheapest booster box in the whole set. Maybe we look at it and say, hey, this is the lowest out of the 12. Maybe this has the greatest opportunity to go up. I don't know. We'll just have to see. We don't know what the future holds, but these are the lessons that we learn along the way and we talk about on this channel that I think are pivotally important, okay? So Battle Styles was at $95. It's up to $111. It is still the lowest priced booster box in the Sword and Shield era, so that might still mean it's a buying opportunity. We'll have to see. Do I think it's the best set? I absolutely do not. But again, when you think about Sword and Shield era might be sunsetted for good, we might not see reprints. Certainly, I don't think we'll see reprints in Battle Styles. At $110 a box, might be the time to pull the trigger on that. Chilling Reign is something I've been very, very bullish on for a long time. Again, this is one where you see the math favored it to go up. It's had an upper confidence bound of gaining 16%, had a lower confidence bound of going down 8.8%, and it certainly performed well. It was up 17%, just a little bit. It's kissing that upper confidence bound, up about $1 over that. So Chilling Reign did everything the math said it would do and a little bit more. Really, really good to see that. I think it's going to continue to run if you want to ask me. I think it's a great set. So really bullish on Chilling Reign. I am so excited to get these 3 additional data points into this math, into this BI calculator, into Excel tomorrow, and to rerun all of this and to present this to you guys on Sunday so we can see where these are going out on Q2. Evolving Skies is another one. The thing I wanted to call out about Evolving Skies, and that is really important to note, is look at the gap in the lower confidence bound and the upper confidence bound. So this is how huge fluctuations in data can affect the projection, right? So it basically, the math basically said, I don't know what the heck is going to happen with Evolving Skies because it has been so volatile over the last 12 months. It started January of 22 at $147 a box. It ended 22 at $280 a box. Just crazy. And it's up almost $100 over the last 3 months. This thing is just, it's a freight train. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to end. But anyways, so because it was so volatile, the math said, hey, it could go down as much as 30%. It could go up as much as 46%. Obviously, the math was still heavily favoring it to go up, but the math was protecting the downside because it just said this has been so crazy volatile. So this is one of those opportunities where when you see this big of a gap, you either have to use your gut a little bit, like you're never going to be able to just blindly follow the math, blindly follow the data. You're always going to have to use your head. Remember, 60% of your head, 40% of your heart. You're going to have to use a little bit of your gut here as well. But Evolving Skies certainly seems like a freight train that will not be derailed. And then you get to Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike was another one where it was at $115 a booster box, and now it's all the way up to $138. It's up 20%, and it's up 5% over the upper confidence bound. We're continuing to see these booster boxes, the lowest price booster boxes at the end of the era, outperforming most of the other boxes from a percentage standpoint, which is just something we have to remember. We've got to keep top of mind, and we have to keep thinking about as we continue this progress down this awesome, awesome journey that is Pokemon collecting and investing. So, Fusion Strike, hats off to you. You absolutely crushed it. Just like with Battle Styles, do I think you're the best set? Not really, but from an investing standpoint, I'm telling you right now, I would rather put $110 into Battle Styles than $138 into Fusion Strike if it was me right now when I'm looking at an overall percentage gain over the next 12 to 14 months. Finally, our 4 newest sets right here. Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars is one that I wanted to talk specifically about. The math loved Brilliant Stars because Brilliant Stars was hot to trot for the 3 months leading up to this. So the math was up and to the right, and it said, hey, listen, Brilliant Stars could go up 35% or it could go down, 9%. So it was really, really favoring the upside. Here's the thing. It's never going to break out like it could until it gets sold out on Pokemon Center, right? Like you can buy this at MSRP in Pokemon Center. I just bought 2 more the other day at $144.95. So as long as you can buy this at MSRP, it's never gonna fully break out. So I forgive the math here because the math isn't aware of outside scenarios like that. And again, this is where you and I have to apply our knowledge of the hobby, our knowledge of what's going on in the outside world to the math. But I do think once it's sold out on Pokemon Center, it'll pop off. Like it just has to. So anyways, Brilliant Stars still did well. it's down 1.5%. But again, how is it at $178 when you can buy it for $144? It just, I cannot wrap my mind. I've talked about that for 2 months now. I can't wrap my mind around it. Anyways, okay, Brilliant Stars is what it is. We shall see what happens once it ends, once it sells out on Pokemon Center. Then you have Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, and Silver Tempest. The thing that I want to say is when we did this math, remember, we didn't have a ton of data points. So Astral Radiance, we only had February to December. Lost Origin, we only had June to December. Silver Tempest, we only had August to December. When I add those 3 additional data points in tomorrow and we rerun the math and we talk about them again on Sunday, we're going to have some more oomph behind it, right? We're going to have a little more strength behind where these prices are possibly going to go. Astral Radiance at $104, jumped up to $127. Again, we just talked about this, right? The booster box is at $110, at $95, at $115, at $104. Like, these sets have performed well because they were very low barrier to entry towards the end of an era. I absolutely positively think that there is something there, and we have to keep that top of mind as we continue down this road. Then you look at Lost Origin, again, another one. It was under that $120 threshold. Big jump, 25% over the last couple months. And Silver Tempest has done well. And I think Silver Tempest has the opportunity to turn into, I don't know, it could be a big set, right? Like XY Evolutions, Team Up, all of those were short printed for whatever reason. And Silver Tempest being the very last set in the Sword and Shield era, with Scarlet and Violet coming down the road, with all of the changes in Scarlet and Violet, with the lack of announcements of reprints for Sword and Shield era. I don't know, maybe Silver Tempest ends up being one of those short printed sets, which drives a ton of value in the future. We shall see. But listen, everybody, I hope you guys love this. This is the kind of stuff that just absolutely ruffles my feathers, gets my blood boiling. Like, I get all kinds of fired up to do this stuff. I will not be enjoying corned beef or cabbage or green beer tonight because I'm going to be crunching some numbers. That way on Sunday we can have an awesome video where we look at this stuff for Q2. And then just like I said, I've done all of this for Sword and Shield. Next weekend, I'm going to do the same thing for Sun and Moon because we already went through the same exercise in January for Sun and Moon. So look forward to that as well. We've got a ton of fun content. And then I think on Wednesday of this week, I'm going to show you guys my next PSA submission because I've got some really awesome cards that I'm sending through the pipeline. So you guys have a safe, fun, happy St. Patrick's Day, and I will talk to you soon. Y'all have a great one.